Good afternoon and welcome to This is Private Practice for Thursday. Can you believe it? Thursday, the 19th of July. A couple of minutes over time, well, my normal time, sorry about that. But sometimes stuff gets in the way and we're just going to talk about what it's like to be in private practice today. So it'd be cool if anybody's watching, if you could let me know. I am back in my office. And every time I see the walls behind me, I go, I've got to do something about that. One of the things that my husband and I are working on at the moment is buying our own home. So this is a rental property. And so I'm not going to invest a whole heap of money in turning this into something wonderful when we're expecting to not be here. Hey, Jen, lovely to see you. How's your rehab going? I need to talk to you. I've got an opportunity for you to come to my yoga class as my guest. So I'm wondering if you'd like to do that. We can do it on a Friday or a Monday or a Saturday. So I thought of you when that offer was made to me. So there you go, Jen, publicly. You've been offered. Hey, Tamara. Oh, God, I've done it again. So I thought today I would show you and share with you. I do not know what this video is doing. Do I need to close some of this internet stuff down? Let's do that. No, that's still not working. I wanted to show you cognitive fatigue because I'm smack bang in the middle of it today. So I talked yesterday about the importance of looking after our mental health. And as people who are dealing with people all the time, we need to be really looking after the tools of our trade. So this is the conversation I started having with myself yesterday. The tools of our trade, for those of us who tend to work with people, are our emotions and our brains and the way we use our bodies. So the tools of our trade are the things that we need to be taking care of. So if you're a plumber or a chippy, that's a carpenter. The tools of your trade would be the tools in your toolbox, and you would make sure that they're well maintained, that you knew where they were, that they were looked after. You would make sure that your vehicle was looked after. You would make sure that it was, had fuel in it, and that if you drove your vehicle as a part of your work, you'd want to make sure that thing was well maintained. It's an asset. It's something you need to be reliable, and it's something that if you don't take care of it, will break down. So why is it that we still to this day don't take care of our mind and our emotions when they are the tools of our trade? So question following on from yesterday, really? And I appreciate everybody getting involved in that conversation yesterday. And I know that it's possibly something that makes people feel a little bit uncomfortable. But I think, we all know that I am committed to healthy, fulfilled humans who can continue to do this work so that we can help other people become healthy and fulfilled humans. And hello, Carol, you're still awake. That's lovely to have you here. And Jen, excellent. We will make a time for yoga. That will be fun. I've got to get that out of my head. So cognitive fatigue looks like this. So when you're going, but that looks normal to you, Joe. Well, thank you very much. For me, my thought processes, it feels like my brain is going really fast, but it feels like the words coming out are really slow. And sometimes the connections between what I think I say and what I actually say are not the same thing. So it's called a word finding difficulty. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with my brain. It just means my brain is tired. Now, I have done 5 coaching sessions today. And I started this morning at 9 and it's just gone 4. And in between those sessions, I then was managing emails, managing phone calls, managing a lot of other information. So I have been using my brain all day. And of course, it's going to get tired. And you may not be aware of this, but the front part of our brain, this little bit here, actually uses up 80% of the glucose stores of our entire brain. So if your nutrient isn't great, or if you haven't had enough good carbohydrate and sugars in your day, then you're going to get more and more fatigued. My nutrition's been good today. my coffee intake has been adequate today. But I can tell you that my ability to concentrate has reduced. And usually when I'm not cognitively fatigued, I can concentrate really well for about 45 minutes, which is what most people can do, by the way. But when I get tired, it jumps down to about 20. I'm distracted. I find it hard to stay focused on a task. I get quite breathless. That's a new one for me. It's possibly got to do with decreased cardiovascular fitness. I don't know. But my eyes get really heavy. It's quite a physical sensation to cognitive fatigue for me. My eyes get really, really heavy, and I blink a lot more, and they find it hard to stay open. Fatigue, interesting. So it also feels like there is added pressure in my head. It's not like a headache, but it's almost like my head's in a vice, and that's a sign of cognitive fatigue for me. If I move suddenly, then I feel a bit dizzy, which is an inner ear thing, which again is showing me that I'm fatigued. So why am I talking about all of this? Well, it's for those of us who are driven and ambitious, we learn to ignore these signs. So we learn to ignore the signs of fatigue. We learn, and we just push through, and we forget how to switch off because we just push through. And we all know, at some intellectual level and rational level that we can't keep doing that, but yet we still do. It would be very, very easy for me to go, I've got so much work to do. I'm having a day off tomorrow. I'm not working tomorrow. Probably do my This is Private Practice Celebration Friday, let's be honest. But I've got stuff outstanding. I've got piles of stuff accumulating, and I can feel really out of control. But it's not going to be helpful for me, my family, and the people I'm trying to work with if I continue to push through these levels of cognitive fatigue right now. This is not the sort of thing that I have a stimulant for. I don't want to be drinking coffee at this time of day. What I need to do is recognize this for what it is. I've worked hard. I've asked my brain to do a lot today, and it's time to take care of it, which means doing something completely different. I get to cook the meal tonight. Hurrah! So yay. Possibly not going to be hyper creative in the kitchen tonight. It's probably just going to be meat and 3 veg, and everybody will be okay with that. So how do you know when you're fatigued? Apart from the obvious signs of you're falling asleep, but what are some of the things that go on for you that you don't necessarily pay attention to? That you kind of go, oh, that's a fatigue sign. That's a fatigue sign. But I'm just going to push through. I'll just ignore it. I just need to keep going for a little while. I'm not asking you to change anything today. There's no shame or blame here. It's just about bringing ourselves back to a place of awareness, because fatigue is a bit of an epidemic, and overwork is a bit of an epidemic. And if we don't start getting down to these basic principles of how we look after ourselves, then we're going to think that it's all about the day spa, or you get sick. And I know this stuff because I work with everybody, well, not everybody, but I work with a lot of people when they've pushed themselves beyond healthy limits or beyond limits that are sustainable. Oh, Carol, you get sad easier. Ah, great point. I get irritable. Thank you. I just realized my family will be watching this again today, and they will go, oh, hell yeah, you get irritable. I get really irritable and snappy, and I don't recognize that it's happening. That's not very pleasant for others. So I am going to go. I'm going to finish up for the day. I am going to go hang out with my nieces and nephews tomorrow. I'm actually taking one of my nephews out for his birthday celebration. Yay, favorite auntie. And I'm looking forward to coming back tomorrow afternoon and sharing Celebration Friday with you, and all things fabulous. Not so fabulous. Great. Not so great in private practice. Go have a great evening, everybody. Go to sleep, Carol. Bye.